The music provided for this episode of the Tom Retro Chronicle is brought to you by Where Did the Silence Start to Grow from the artist called Timberman. To check out more PodSafe music, check out dig.ccmixter.org. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5. It is the Tom Retro Chronicle with your host called Tom Retro.
Looking good, baby!
Tom Retro is also known as the Retro Guy and has a very interesting angle on things like sports, music, movies, books, and pretty much mostly life. He has a WordPress account, a very funny Twitter account, and overall a very interesting guy. Yeah. And also has very interesting interviews like me, Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah. So let's head it to our very own very special host called Tom Retro. Welcome to the Tom Retro Chronicle. I am taping this on a very gloomy gust Thursday afternoon. It's just almost around noon here in the old Fargo, North Dakota. In terms of this episode, this is episode 5 of the Tom Retro Chronicle. As always, I am Tom Retro, your gracious host. And in terms of topics for this week, it's pretty light. All I'm really just gonna talk about is week 10 picks for the NFL season, and I think that should be pretty much it. So this should be pretty much one of the most shortest episodes that I will ever do as a podcaster, which I've been doing for over 3 months. Doesn't seem that long, but I actually got started when it was actually warm out back in late July. So, gosh, it's been that long. So weird. Anyway, off to do the first and probably the only topic of this podcast. So, on to NFL Week 10 picks. So if you subscribe to my WordPress account, you'll probably already know that by last night, around 10:30 p.m. of last night, I posted my Week 10 picks for this week. And it all starts with... let's go start with the bye weeks, the bye week teams for this week. And we have Arizona, Green Bay, Washington, and Cleveland all have bye weeks for this week. So there will be only 14 games this week. I believe it's the same case for this last week and probably the week before that. Let us start off with the Thursday night game that is on tonight on NFL Network. You have a pretty decent matchup. It's an AFC South matchup between the Indianapolis Colts, who are visiting the Jaguars of Jacksonville. And I pretty much picked the Colts to win this one. I believe that the Colts have been a pretty good surprise so far this season, and so far this season, the Jaguars haven't been playing that good football, so I humbly picked the Colts to win this one. And there will be no games on Friday or Saturday, but on Sunday, you have a whole slate of games. First one is Denver traveling to Carolina. And I have the Broncos winning this one. As long as Peyton Manning is the quarterback of that team should win that game. Um, Perhaps Cam Newton will make it close, but to take on a Peyton Manning team that is playing pretty good football right now, I'm still taking the Broncos in this one. So, okay. So, uh, the next one I'm going to talk about is the New York Giants traveling to Cincinnati. And I am still going to take the Giants in this one, even though they had a hiccup of a game last week against Pittsburgh at home. And I still believe the Giants are still a good team. I still believe that. I mean, they're the defending champs. I mean, I can't see any reason why I shouldn't pick the Giants in this one, especially if the Bengals haven't been playing that good football this season. So I'm still going to take the Giants in this one because as long as Eli Manning is still the quarterback of that team, they should have a pretty good shot of winning that one. So I still believe that. Tennessee at Miami. I am going to take the Dolphins in this one, and I believe in the Dolphins. They're looking good right now. Ryan Tannehill has the hot wife going for him. He has all the momentum in the game right now. He has so much to look forward to. Tennessee, I don't know about the Titans. They're more bad than good in terms of this. The Dolphins almost beat the Colts last week, so I'm still gonna take the Dolphins in this one. I don't like the Titans in this one, so I'm guessing that the Dolphins will win this one. Next game is Detroit at Minnesota. In terms of this matchup, this one could go any way, and I am still going to take the Lions in this one. I took the Lions in the first game, which was a couple weeks ago. I think this is a tale of two teams in this one. Two different teams in this one. The Vikings were the unknown team that was going on a hot streak, and the Lions were this team that was kind of going on a downturn. And I think the Lions will win this one. I think Christian Ponder will be having a very interesting game this one. And I believe that Samantha Steele and Christian Ponder will stop dating after this game. I'm not much for predicting how relationships will end, but you know what? I'm going to go on a limb and say that Samantha Steele and Christian Ponder will end their relationship on this note. So I believe that her and me should get together. Samantha, if you're listening, yeah, you're the peanut butter to my bread. Okay, okay, all right. Okay. Anyway. So anyway, I still believe the Lions will then win that one. So, Oakland at Baltimore, and I have the Ravens winning this one. For more reasons than not, I believe that if the Ravens were to lose this one, I would lose myself in this one. I would humbly slap the Ravens with the honorary slap of shame in this one. So I have the Ravens in this one. Buffalo at New England. I have the Patriots. As long as Tom Brady has a good game, I don't see the Bills coming back from this one. Certainly, the Bills could certainly make a good game out of this one, but I don't see this one happening. San Diego at Tampa Bay. I still believe in the Panthers, or excuse me, the Buccaneers. Wrong division, wrong team. I believe the Buccaneers will win this one. I absolutely like the team right now. I think they are going to go on a whim on this one. Doug Martin will have a good game. If you seriously don't know who Doug Martin is, seriously check this guy out. He is the real deal. Okay. Next game is Atlanta at New Orleans. I have the Falcons winning this one. The Saints have a terrible defense, and Matt Ryan will have a field day against that defense. He will be getting more air than Air Jordan. There, I said it. He will get more air than Air Jordan. Okay. Certainly, this game could have a shootout label all over it, but against the Saints defense, that's pretty much the only reason why I do not think that this will be a shootout game. Next one is the New York Jets at Seattle. And I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. I humbly feel that the Seahawks will win this one. I think Russell Wilson will add another targeted quarterback to his already growing resume of wins against good quarterbacks. I'm not saying that Mark Sanchez is a good quarterback or not, but certainly the New York media gives Mark Sanchez the whole spiel of being, hey, I'm a New Yorker, so that means I must be a good quarterback. So anyway, I'm guess I'll take the Seahawks in that one. The last thing that I want to mention in that one is give Greg McElroy a chance. Okay. Dallas at Philadelphia. This is essentially a tale of two crappy teams. I do not like the Eagles in this one. I don't like the Cowboys in this one. This one could go either way, but I am going to take the Cowboys in this one. For reasons why, if you actually looked at the WordPress column that I made, I wrote down saying, and I quote, I feel somehow the Cowboys will mistakenly find a way to win this one. Mistakenly is the key word, end quote. And I still believe that. I think the Cowboys will mistakenly find a way to win this one. And then Jason Garrett's like, how the heck did we win this one? I don't get it. Definitely expect a turnover fest in this one, and expect a sack fest in this one. So, St. Louis at San Francisco. I have San Francisco in this one. I think the Rams are a decent team. I just don't think that they will win this one in Candlestick Park, which the 49ers are 3-1 so far this season in Candlestick Park. Their only loss was from the New York Giants a couple weeks ago, was it? So, I don't see the Rams winning this one by a huge margin. And probably one of the most biggest games of the week on NBC is the Houston Texans traveling to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears. And I certainly really struggled with this one.
pretty much spent the whole day yesterday trying to figure out who could possibly win this one. And after really thinking about it really, really hard, I've come to the conclusion that Houston will pull off this one. I wrote down that the Texans will win this game by a field goal. But I think it'll be a game-winning field goal. So, certainly one of the best games of the week in this one. NBC got a pretty good, choice for this one. So, for the Monday night game is pretty much a whole different story. It looks like a total crap fest. And this one is the Kansas City Chiefs are traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, and the Steelers were favored to win by 13.5, and now it's by 12.5. And I'm trying to remember if I remember this or not, but like 5 years ago, there was a Monday night matchup. It was basically a low-scoring affair, which the Steelers only scored the only few points in this one, which was 3 points, making it the most low-scoring affair in Monday Night Football history. I believe it was against the Chiefs, but I could be absolutely dead wrong about that. But I believe it was 5 years ago that the Steelers beat the Chiefs by 3 points in this one. I'm not really sure, but I wouldn't make a bet on it or not. But anyway, so in terms of NFL picks for this week, I am pretty much done with talking about them. You can certainly expect a new episode of the podcast sometime next week, probably on Tuesday. And until that time, I will see you all later. Thank you for listening to the Tom Retro Chronicle, and have a good weekend, folks. Peace out.